I was born in 1981, so therefore I was a small child all the way through the 80s, and I have some memories for sure of different foods that we ate during that time. But the 80s are known for so many different things, and we're gonna explore a lot of those in this video. We're just gonna hang out in the kitchen together, making foods kind of like we would in the 80s. So grab you something cold to drink, sit back, and enjoy. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. A portion of today's video is kindly sponsored by Thrive Market. I'll tell you more about them later. I put up a community post and asked you what foods you remembered from the 1980s. I saw a lot of the same things mentioned, one of which was probably the most popular thing mentioned, and I will not be making that in this video. That thing is tuna casserole. Me and Steven, both not fans at all. I've had tuna casserole a few times in my life, and I can for sure say it is not for me. Just the thought of it kind of turns my stomach a little bit, not gonna lie. I know a lot of people love it, and that's great. It's just not my thing, so we will not be making tuna casserole, but tuna casserole was very, very popular in the 80s. Another really popular thing was Jell-O made with fruit cocktail. My mama made this all the time in the 80s and in the 90s probably, and it's so easy to make. So we're gonna make that first because it needs to set up in the fridge. I have a fun way of serving this later. I'll talk about that a little bit later. It's how my mama always served it, and I was able to kind of recreate it. So we'll go over that. But we need, so you can do 2 packs of Jell-O, the 3 ounce, but I just got the one family size, the 6 ounce. So it's in strawberry, and then a can of fruit cocktail. And then we need a cup of boiling water. So you're gonna have to tell me, is this something that you love? Did you grow up eating this? Do you still make this? I'm gonna pop this in the microwave for about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, and it should be hot enough. Yeah, this was one of my favorite desserts as a kid. I got so excited. I will tell you, anytime, and this has cherries in it too, anytime I saw a cherry, I would pull a cherry out. I'm not a cherry fan. It's texture for me, and I love cherry flavored things, but cherries themselves, like cherries on top of cheesecake, I'll pass. It's just not my thing. But I remember loving this as dessert. Another popular dessert from back in the 80s that's still popular today would be dirt cake. So you make the cake and then you do the frosting and you crumble up Oreos all over the top to make it look like dirt. And then having the little gummy worms coming out of it. That was a very popular thing. I remember a lot of my friends having that as their birthday cake. I don't think I ever did that. And that's another thing I don't love. I don't love gummy worms, gummy bears. It's the texture. Again, this is becoming a video of what Mandy doesn't like. All right, so I need to pull out a dish for this. We're gonna use this one because this will be easy to mix it all in, and then I can just cover this and stick it in the fridge. So we'll do that. That's about done. Let me open up my fruit cocktail. We are gonna use the juices from this too, so you don't have to drain it. Man, I have not bought a thing of fruit cocktail in probably 20 years. No joke. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds though. I really want it boiling, you know? And while we do that, I'll just open this. So you have to tell me, the 80s. How old were you in the 80s? I was a little girl. I was born in 81. So most of my memories are from the 90s, quite honestly, you know, because that's when I was a preteen, teenager, all of that. It's boiling now. Ooh. So let's add, let me move you so you can see what I'm doing. I would like to thank Thrive Market for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let me tell you, we get so happy to see Thrive Market boxes arrive at our front door. We all have some favorite things that we like to get from there. And I'm probably the most excited because I didn't have to go to a grocery store to pick up these healthier options for us. They came right to my door, and for a better price than I can find it in store. If you aren't familiar with Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. And here's the thing, if you are looking to make healthier swaps, you don't need to go in your pantry and take everything out and donate it, throw it out, and start from scratch. It's just making little swaps here and there, and Thrive Market makes it really easy to do that. The biggest thing that I love is that they vet all of their products, and they ban over 1,000 sketchy ingredients from their products. So that means you know you are getting the best of the best when you order from them. One of my favorite snacks from there are these fig bars from Pamela's brand. They replace another fig bar that I've always loved, but is nowhere near as good for me and doesn't have as good of ingredients as this one does. I recently was talking with my registered dietitian about how I could add fiber more into my diet, and she recommended chia seeds, and I found these ground chia seeds from Thrive Market. So I love the fact that I can sprinkle this on in my yogurt or whatever to add extra fiber. And I've never seen them ground before. I've seen chia seeds at the grocery store, but I was excited to see this. Thrive Market makes it really easy to order your favorite things over and over again. They have the buy it again feature, and I can just go in there and add things to my cart. And once my cart hits a $49 threshold, I know that my order is gonna ship for free. One of the things that we always keep on hand, I love their organic black beans and their pinto beans, and they come in this pouch. Makes it really easy to store. I know there are grocery stores out there that are available to some people that have a lot of healthy options all in one store. I am not one of those people. One of those stores is like 45 minutes away. So I love the fact that I don't have to store hop and look for better options. I don't have to stand in an aisle and read all the ingredients. I just go on Thrive Market and I shop from there, and I don't have to sweat it. I think I've mentioned this before, but of course this is recyclable, but they take great care in how they wrap your products so they don't get damaged during transit. So while I finish unpacking this, let me just tell you, if you go to thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking and you join today, you will save 30% on your first order, plus you're getting a free gift worth up to $60. I love that they do this for new members because not only are you saving on their everyday prices, but you're getting that 30% off, you're getting a free gift, and you're gonna have access to thousands of organic products that are so good. So go check them out, thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking. Okay, we've got our large thing of strawberry Jell-O. What's your favorite flavor of Jell-O? I love strawberry. Is it blue raspberry? I love that one too. So we've got our hot water going in, just a cup. Let's stir all of that until it dissolves. This is just the smell of Jell-O takes me back to childhood. I was never a big fan of the Jell-O that was in the cups. I know they still make them, but I was never a big fan of that. I like this way. Now we've got this 15-ounce can of fruit cocktail that I just about threw everywhere. And I'm gonna try and pour it in without splashing too much. All right, I'm just gonna stir that around. And that's it. That's all we have to do for that one. This takes me back just looking at this. Oh my word. Okay, this is going in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Oh, I need to cover it. Well, do I? You know what? I'm gonna leave it uncovered right now because I don't wanna trap the heat in, you know? So let's put this in the fridge for about 4 hours. We'll have it tonight. Do I have a place for it? That's always the question. Yeah, I do. Okay. We have leftover cupcakes from my nephew's birthday party. My mom made red velvet cupcakes and she made the cream cheese frosting. Oh my word, they're so good. All right, let me clean up this mess and we're gonna get started on some lunch. And we are having a very 80s classic lunch today. I will say that most of the time in the 80s when we had what I'm gonna be making, it came from a can. And I'm not saying that to shame my mom or to shame anyone because I have used it a gazillion times from the can. And you know what? The can version of this is really good. And it was always just something easy for my mom to make. My mom was a busy mom of two. She was a teacher. She didn't have a lot of extra time. So anytime she said we were having sloppy joes, AKA manwich, we got excited because it is so good. So I'm making sloppy joes today. I'm not using manwich. I'm gonna make it just from scratch here at home, really, really simple. But to go along with it, instead of doing fries, something that was really popular in the 80s was tater tots. And I've got this bag of tots from Roots. These are organic tater tots. So we're gonna have those. Preheat our oven to 400. Do you love tots? We love some tots, especially tater tot casserole. That was probably really popular in the 80s as well. I don't remember that, but we've made tater tot casserole a gazillion different ways, and we've made sloppy joes different ways as well. Today, we're kind of going with the basic route. I've got just like tomato sauce, an onion. Pretty sure I have a bell pepper. I do. We'll wash this. We need some ketchup. Let's get some Dub sauce. And a little bit of mustard, and then some brown sugar. I just noticed something on the back of these tater tots. It says preheat oven and baking sheet. So I'm gonna throw the baking sheet in the oven to preheat as well. Okay, now I need to grab us a skillet. I will start heating this up to about like medium high. Turn that light on. Okay, let's quickly chop up our ingredients that we need to chop so that it can go in with the ground beef while we're cooking the ground beef. I'm gonna get my chopper to make it really fast. If you don't have this chopper, y'all, I cannot recommend this thing enough. It saves time, saves frustration and hassle, and it does go in the dishwasher, so it's a win-win. Okay, so I've got a small onion. Let's just chop that up. How is winter going for you? Are you over it? Are you ready for warm weather like I am? Put it in there. And we only need about half of the bell pepper. Ooh, that onion was stout. I'm glad I used the chopper. That's another thing. Using the chopper will save your eyes. Okay, let's dice this bell pepper in here with it. All of that is chopped. Let's move over to the stove. Okay, to our skillet, we've got 1 pound of ground beef going in. Let's go ahead and break that up a little bit. Okay, it is just now really starting to get warm enough. I'm starting to hear a little bit of a sizzle going. But let's add our onion and our bell pepper. Let's let that hang out, and we're gonna make the sauce while we wait on this to brown up. I'll come over here and mess with it every now and then, but let's go make the sauce. Okay, the first thing we need is a kind of large can of tomato sauce. This is a 15 ounce from Thrive Market. Let's add that in here. Then we need some ketchup, about a 1/4 cup or so. I'm just gonna eyeball it. This does not have to be precise, that is for sure. We need a little bit of this mustard, maybe a couple of teaspoons. That's preference, really. Then we need some Dub sauce. Love Worcestershire sauce. It's just easier to say the Dub sauce. This one I always just measure with my heart, you know, but probably about a tablespoon. And then some brown sugar. Let's do a couple tablespoons of brown sugar as well. Okay. Let's mix that up, and that will go in with our ground beef once everything is done. But so simple. Put the tots in just a second. I need to work on this for a second. And if you don't have a non-stick baking sheet, I would definitely spray it first before putting anything on there, because tater tots are famous for getting stuck. Ooh, love that sizzle. That's great. 25 minutes. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 25 minutes. Which is great because that'll give us time to finish up the sloppy joes, and it'll all be done at the same time. I'm gonna season this with just a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't need a lot because there is some salt in the mixture we're gonna put in there, but I do love some pepper. And now that this is almost done, let's throw in some garlic to go with it. I am using the jarred garlic just because it makes it so much quicker and easier. I'm gonna put in that a much, you know. My onions and my peppers are getting soft. So this was pretty lean. I think this was like 90-10 maybe. But there is a little bit of grease that I do want to soak up. So I've got my little tongs and a paper towel. And we'll just do it this way. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium-low maybe. And let's pour our sauce in. So Stephen was saying that he remembers them having sloppy joes, and sometimes they wouldn't have hamburger buns, and so they would just put it on regular bread, and he would just pile it on top of his regular bread and eat it with a fork. Look, I've had it on regular bread too. If you don't have hamburger buns, that's what you gotta do. But that was a cool memory that he had. He said, I was a growing boy. I would just pile it up on top of my sandwich, like regular bread, and eat it with a fork. All right, so I'm gonna let this hang out for as long as we need. We've got 19 minutes left on the timer for the tater tots, and then it'll be time to eat. This was one of my favorite meals in the 80s. I can for sure say that. I know a lot of you left comments in on the post that I made, the community post, but you'll have to tell me, what is your favorite nostalgic meal from the 80s? I need to know. Also, I was doing some research and I found a lot of like fancier meals that were popular in the 80s, like chicken divan, I think is how you say it, steak Diane. We aren't going to be making those things, but those became very popular in the 80s for sure. But I tell you what, I feel like convenience meals really became popular in the 80s. I feel like more moms than ever were working outside of the home. And so when you're outside of the home, you have less time to cook for sure. So they really just were trying to make things a lot easier. Plus there was the invention of this guy, not the invention of, but like every house pretty much had a microwave in the 80s. So we had so many frozen TV dinners, all of those things became really, really popular in the 80s. I love the 80s because it was before the internet. And that's interesting with me saying that, as I rely on the internet to do my job. But simpler times, I'm just telling you. I loved the 80s for sure. Okay, it has come up to a bubble, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I'm gonna toast up our hamburger buns so that they don't get too soggy with our meat. So I've got 4 buns here. Cole is here and he says he wants 2 sloppy joes. So I'm gonna butter these and toast them up on our indoor griddle because that makes it so much easier for the sloppy joes not to get so soggy. And it doesn't take long for these to do their thing. I let them go a little too long. They're a little extra toasty, okay? It is what it is. But I had a bit of a mishap because when I was recording me doing the buns and stuff, I didn't have my mic on. I'm bad about turning off my mic in between takes, like we're waiting on stuff to cook, and I'll forget to turn it back on. I do it all the time. But everything is ready. Let's check on the tater tots. Oh yeah, nice and crispy. Okay, let's eat. I got a little crispy on our buns. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Well, you're in the shot. Put on a mic. What? Yeah, I got a little sidetracked. That's okay. And do you put cheese on your sloppy joe? Sometimes I did. Not always.
What a throwback meal we have here.
I mean, it doesn't get more 80s than sloppy joes and tater tots.
No. I used to eat hound out of sloppy joes when I was a youngin'.
Yep. I already told them about how you would mount it up on sandwich bread.
Very good flavor. Doesn't taste like it's out of a can.
No. You know what, though? I do like the manwich, the bold, the extra bold manwich. I really do like that one. I've been known to make that one.
This has got a classic manwich flavors, but what makes this different is it has the veggies in there, the onions.
The onion and bell pepper.
And the bell pepper.
Yeah.
That makes it stand out.
A little extra garlic, too.
And you toasted the buns.
I did. And then you got tots. What movie am I thinking of right now when I say tots?
Probably Napoleon Dynamite.
Correct. Give me your tots.
No, get your own. Those are crispy.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Not soggy.
Not soggy.
Good. So there's one place that still serves tater tots, a fast food restaurant that still serves tater tots, like every day.
Is it Arby's or Wendy's?
You know what? Arby's might. I was thinking of Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
Sonic has tots. All right, y'all. There's you a classic 80s meal. I'm going to dig in before it gets cold.
Yeah, this is super good. And I needed this too.
He just got back from working out.
Yeah.
So. Okay, y'all. It is several hours later and I am fading fast. But good news is that I'm making a recipe tonight that I grew up on in the 80s and 90s. My mom made all the time. I have a video about this on my channel, but it was one of the very first videos I ever filmed for my channel, which means it's going on 8 years ago. I cannot believe I've had this channel for almost 8 years. But, so that means it's an easy one, number one. And it's one that I've made so many times that it's not a big deal, you know? But we are having nostalgic for me. I know it's not nostalgic for you, but just hang tight. I promise it will be worth it. We're having red macaroni. Red macaroni. Yes, we are going to add cheese, but it's not a macaroni and cheese. It's like a spaghetti substitute, basically. Let's preheat the oven to 350, and I need my skillet. I'm going to bring my large skillet over here and heat it to about medium high. So my chopper is in the dishwasher, but I only need to chop up this onion, so it shouldn't take me long at all. So let's dice this up. So obviously spaghetti has been a thing since Adam and Eve? I'm not sure. It's been around forever. But do you have anything like this that's like spaghetti-ish, but it's like a substitute for spaghetti? This is definitely another option for us if I'm craving spaghetti. It's almost like a baked spaghetti-ish. You'll see. It is so easy though, y'all. It is so easy. Okay, we've got that chopped. Let me grab a scraper. Let's take this over to the stovetop. Let's do some cooking. 1 pound of ground beef going in. And just like my chopper, my veggie chopper is in the dishwasher, so is my little mix and chop that I normally use to chop up my ground beef. So this is starting to do its thing. Let's throw our onion in with it. And then you can season this however you like. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper and some Italian seasoning. Let's see if we can find the Italian seasoning. I think I have one from Spice Titan. Here it is, I'm almost out. I think I have a fresh one that is waiting on me when I use this. I do love their Italian blend. Also, if you've never tried Spice Titan's seasoning blends, they are fantastic. And I do have a discount code down in the description box, so if you want to order from them and get a little discount, you can do that. So let's throw in some of this Italian seasoning as well. Chopping this up, and I will be right back once it's browned. Y'all know what? I feel like when I was younger, in the 80s and 90s, my mom, if she had leftover hot dog buns or anything like that, she would make it into garlic toast to go along with dinner or whatever. That way you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you could always freeze it if you wanted to, but you've just got a couple left. She would use it up that way, which is extremely smart. So we're gonna do that. I feel like that was, I'm sure people still do that today. I still do that today, but it makes me think of my childhood, because I feel like she would just kind of toast up whatever bread we had, add some butter and some garlic salt to it. You got garlic toast. So I think we're gonna do that because I have a couple of hot dog buns that I need to use up. You know what else we're gonna do? I'm gonna chop up the other half of this bell pepper really quickly. I don't normally put bell pepper in this, but since we have it, why not? So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. I'm gonna add those in, and I know it's kind of late to the game because our stuff is already brown. However, this has still got to cook for a while, so it'll be fine. And I'm gonna drain this a little bit with the paper towel method. Let's add in our sauce. You just want a jar of, I call it spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce. A jar of that. And then we'll put some water in this jar and add that to this as well, like a cup to a cup and a half of water, because we're gonna boil our noodles right in here with this. So I just filled this jar like halfway. I'm gonna pour that in. There we go. And we can add more water later if we need to. But let me grab our noodles. We use elbow macaroni. You need a cup of elbow macaroni. And we're just gonna go ahead and throw that in, and we're gonna let it come up to a boil, and then we're gonna cover it and simmer it for about 20 minutes. And you know what? Sometimes I add in garlic and sometimes I don't, but I'm gonna add in a little garlic powder. I truly don't really follow a recipe for this. I just kind of do whatever feels right, you know? Okay, that should come up to a boil here really quickly. All right, you can see that has come up to a simmer. Good little boil, actually. So I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm gonna turn it down to about medium low, and I'm gonna set a timer for about 20 minutes. I'll check on it about halfway through and see if I need to add more water. While that's doing its thing, I thought that I had red macaroni, the recipe, written in my mom's handwriting. I don't. I have it emailed to me by my mama a long time ago, and I printed that out. But when I got married back in 2000, I love that we got married in 2000. It makes it really easy to remember how many years we've been married. She gave me a cookbook, a recipe book of recipes that I kind of grew up with, that she used to make a lot, and she wrote it in her handwriting. This one is for tortilla layered casserole. You can see that she wrote it in June of 2000, which is when I got married. And my mom has excellent handwriting, in case you can't tell. Excellent handwriting. But I have so many of these, and I took them out of the original book that she gave them to me in, and I have them in my recipe binder that I keep. But I love this. So if you have a child that's getting married, I feel like this is a great gift. To gift them with some of their favorite childhood recipes, handwritten by you. It means the world to me that she did this, that she took the time to write these out. There are so many. She got these little recipe cards and she just wrote them all down for me, and I love that. Once this is done here, we're gonna shred some cheese in just a second, but we're gonna top it with cheese and we're gonna put it in the oven. You know, normally you would just transfer it, I can talk, transfer it to a baking dish, but my cookware can go from the stovetop to the oven, so I'm not going to do that. There's no need for me to dirty another dish since I could do that. So I'm just gonna top this with cheese and put it in the oven. We'll let it sit in the oven for like 5 minutes to just melt the cheese. And during that time, I will butter our hot dog buns and put some garlic salt on them. And then as soon as that comes out, we'll turn it over to broil and just put our garlic toast in the oven. Use whatever cheese you like. My mom always did cheddar cheese, so that's what I do. Oh, that's perfect. All right, I'm gonna let this hang out for just a second while we top it with our cheese. And like I mentioned, I mean, this is already cooked, everything's done. You're just melting the cheese. That's all we're putting it in the oven for. I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna pop our hot dog buns in. Can y'all see the goodness that is this red macaroni? These in and turn it over to broil. All right, these are done. You know what? We're gonna serve it over here on the stovetop because that's usually how I serve it and how my mama would serve it. She'd have everything out and you'd come help your plate and then take it to the table, or she would kind of plate it all up from over here and take it to the table. So here we go.
Clever idea on hot dog buns.
Yeah.
Good
You got to
job.
use up the bread.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Uh-huh.
Looks really good.
We've had red macaroni no less
yeah.
than 50 times.
Right. This is a super comfort meal right here.
It is. It is nostalgic for me, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we ever had red macaroni when I was growing up.
Yeah. I mean, it's very similar to like a hamburger helper type thing.
Man, I've missed that flavor.
I know. It's been a while since I've made it.
That cheddar cheese melts and just oozes all over the place.
Butter, garlic salt on a hot dog bun.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Oh.
Just that garlic hot dog toast right there.
Well, enjoy, sweetheart. I'm going to dig in.
So good.
Straight up looks like a plate from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this makes me so happy. So this is done and ready. I don't have any Cool Whip to go on top, but we're going to eat it just like this. And we're going to eat it in a very special little cup. And these, I'm pretty sure, are the exact cups my mom had when I was growing up. I just recently went to a thrift store that carries a ton of glass and crystal because I had a feeling I would find them. And as soon as I walked in the door, I saw them. I'm going to insert some clips here. We also have these. I remember my mom putting M&Ms in this. We did not call it dessert. We called it sweet stuff. If we ate all our dinner, we got sweet stuff. And she had these exact bowls. And she would put the M&Ms in there. And let me just tell you, me and my sister would count the M&Ms to make sure we both got the same amount. You know how kids be. If this doesn't take me back to childhood, oh my goodness. Look at that. I'm so excited. Look at that.
How long has it been?
Forever. I feel like I just stepped back into the 80s.
That looks amazing.
I'm so excited.
Gonna be tasty.
I feel like on buffet lines and stuff, they had this there too. Stop.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, my taste buds just...
A Jell-O texture
Wow.
with a little bit of that fruit texture. In there. Oh, a shocking experience.
Ow! Did y'all hear that?
Texture. Oh. Hi-ya!
Do y'all still make this? You have to let me know.
Man, yeah.
Okay.
That is so good. And that's my favorite Jell-O too, that red Jell-O.
Strawberry.
Strawberry. You get a home run.
It's a
Super
good one.
good.
We are going to get started on another lunch that is just like cooking in the 80s. We're combining a couple of different recipes, our main dish and our side dish. Our side dish is using all of this here. You could put your guesses below. I've got zucchini, squash, basil, red onion, asparagus. You can't see this, cherry tomatoes. So that's going in the side dish. The main dish is it's a commercial that I remember so very well. And that is, it's Shake and Bake, and I helped. Do y'all remember that commercial? I probably bought this when we first got married, I'm guessing, because, yeah, it's been that long, for sure. I need to chop up some chicken. Like, I've got some thick chicken breasts, so I need to cut them in half. We need to get them coated. I've got our oven preheating to 400, and we're gonna bake the chicken while we cook the side dish. So I was just looking at the directions, like the most basic directions. And it says to kind of brush water on top of these. What if we did the smallest bit of olive oil, like an olive oil spray instead of water? I just feel like, I don't know. It feels weird to just put water on this. Now, back in the day, it came with a plastic bag that you would shake it all in. I'm not gonna be shaking these. This came with 2 pouches. I'm just gonna sprinkle this over the top. All right, I'm just gonna spray it with a little bit of olive oil spray. Not a lot. And we are going to sprinkle this over top. So they have the different types of shake and bake. They have like the Parmesan crusted, the original, which is this one, and then the extra crispy too, which is cool. I got the original. I didn't even know, honestly, if they still made shake and bake. I was surprised to see that they did. There's one side. I've got a large baking dish here. I'm gonna transfer these over there, and then we will sprinkle the other side. I'm gonna go over here to the stovetop and turn on. I have a big thing of water that I need to heat, so I'm gonna start that. I don't think I've told you what I'm making as our side dish yet. We are making pasta Primavera. I don't think my mom ever made pasta Primavera, but apparently it was pretty popular in the 80s. It was kind of a fancy way to make a pasta dish, side dish. I'm looking forward to trying the pasta Primavera. I don't know that I've ever had it. Okay, we've got these done. These are ready to go in the oven. They're gonna bake at 400 for probably 25 to 30 minutes. And then hopefully, I've timed this about right, we'll get the other thing done as well. Let's do the red onion because that's the smallest amount. We're just gonna thinly slice this red onion. We're just gonna do the little half moon shapes. Okay, that is a lot of zucchini and squash. It says we just need to cut these into like 1-inch pieces. And our water is almost up to a boil, so we'll go throw the pasta in just a second. But these garlic cloves, they just need to be sliced, it says. The last thing I need to do is just have these cherry tomatoes. And I will tell you, I am leaving out a very important ingredient, I believe. I don't know how important it is, but it's peas. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that is not a vibe for me. I do not like peas. We ain't doing it. So I'm leaving those out, but you feel free. Okay, I'm gonna preheat our skillet over here to about medium high while I finish up these tomatoes. And that way we'll be ready to get started on that as soon as I'm done. Okay, let's move over to the stovetop. I'm gonna salt our pasta water, and then we're gonna throw in our penne pasta. We've got about 10 ounces of penne pasta going in. And we're just gonna cook that until al dente. Okay, so for this recipe, it calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm gonna be using this Palmetto olive oil, and we're gonna use the Tuscan Herb Infused because that's our favorite, and I feel like it goes along with the flavor profile of this particular dish. And now we just need to add in all of our fresh ingredients over here. Our asparagus, squash, and zucchini are going in, our tomatoes, our garlic, and then our red onion as well. We're just gonna let these saute for a little bit. I'm also gonna add some salt and pepper. We are gonna add a good bit of salt, like a teaspoon, and then as much pepper as you want. And then we're gonna let that hang out. Let's see. Okay, we got about 8 more minutes on the pasta. So let's just see how these do over the next few minutes. And then our chicken still has 14 minutes. So I feel like we're doing good. While that is over there cooking, I'm gonna get started on shredding some cheese. It calls for pecorino cheese. Don't have that, but we do have Parmesan, so we're gonna go with that. We need like 3/4 a cup of that. And then we're also gonna grab a lemon out of the fridge and slice it in half because we're gonna add some lemon juice to this. Y'all see that? That would be my son. He loves Parmesan just as much as I do. Hairstyles in the 80s. Were you rocking the big hair? I was always rocking the wing. You know, where you pull this out, use extra hold, usually Aquanet. Aquanet or Rave. Was Rave more the 90s or I don't know. And it almost looked like big elephant ears coming out. And I had big old bangs too. I thought about doing that for this video, but honestly I ran out of time. Wouldn't that have been something? That would have been so cute, right? Cut this lemon in half. Let's head over and check on everything over at the stove. Oh man, this smells so good. This makes me think of summertime, and we're in the dead of winter right now. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. We're about to drain our pasta. I love this little thing right here that just clips on. Okay, now we're just gonna add our drained pasta into this dish. This pasta is huge. Okay, so let's put some lemon juice in here. We're gonna use pretty much this half of the lemon. And then I've got some fresh basil from my indoor garden. We're just gonna throw that in as well and let that kind of wilt down. Instead of red pepper flakes, let's do Spice Titan's Added Heat. It's got spices, onion, jalapeno pepper, garlic, smoked paprika, and habanero. Let's just sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Now the recipe also said if you have tarragon, you could throw tarragon in there. I do not. I shredded all this cheese and I was supposed to add it in. If you're new here, I always forget ingredients. It happens 24/7. Okay, now let's stir that in. So it is 12:31 and our lunch is ready. We've got pasta primavera and we got shake and bake chicken, and I helped. Woo, good gracious, that just hit me in the face. It always stinks when you're wearing glasses and you have to open up the oven. Fogs you right up. So unfortunately, Steven is not gonna be doing a taste test with me because he has alternate plans with a friend for lunch. So it's just gonna be me. Cole will be here, but he probably won't get on camera. So I'll give you his opinions, but he won't be on camera. He's standing right there. He's like, no, that's not happening. So let me serve this up and we'll do a taste test.
Well, I mean, it was sitting here and I just couldn't.
I mean, you can't eat much because he's going to eat lunch.
But I'm going to eat a couple bites because it looks delicious.
It does look
Good
good.
job, babe.
All right, take a bite. Tell me what you think.
Oh, wow.
What is that? What'd you get? The shake and bake?
Yeah.
Do you remember it being that good?
No. That is super delicious. But there's a lot of flavor in that breading. Pasta primavera coming in. Man. First of all, just looking at that, it doesn't look like there's a lot of flavor on it.
Joke's on you.
Yeah. There's a lot of flavor in that.
Yeah.
Man, it's a little spicy.
I added spice to it. Yeah.
Oh boy, that is delicious. That is delicious.
Good. I'm so glad. I hate that you're missing the rest of it. But you're going to have a good lunch with your friend. So, all right, I'll keep eating that. You be safe. Love you.
Oh, love you better.
Okay, I just got finished eating and Cole got finished eating. He actually got some seconds of the pasta primavera. I said, what do you rate this? He said, out of a 10, I give it an 8.2, and then he changed it to an 8. And he said he takes away a little bit. He said it would be an 8.5 if it wasn't for the squash and zucchini. He does not like the texture and taste of squash and zucchini. You can pick around that, obviously, but he said it was really good. So this 80s meal holds up in 2026. I enjoyed cooking these recipes and kind of reminiscing about the 80s. It's so weird now that when I go into vintage and antique stores, I'm seeing things from the 80s and 90s labeled as antiques, which means I'm labeled as an antique. That's a little humbling. Don't forget, if you are looking for healthier options and you don't want to have to go search the grocery stores, check out Thrive Market. Just go to thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking. When you join today, you'll save 30% on your first order and you'll get a free gift worth up to $60. As always, I appreciate y'all being here and we will see you next week. Bye y'all.